read something, man. I want to read something, and especially for my people who don't necessarily read the Bible, I usually tell people to start with the wisdom chapters, your Ecclesiastes, your Proverbs, things like that, so you can get an understanding of King Solomon's mind, you know. But going through the Proverbs is a lot. It's easier than starting with the book because you can use the wisdom chapters, man, basically in your daily life. So let me read real quick, man. I'm reading Proverbs 25 out of the Message Bible, and it's two mini chapters within the whole chapter. So the two mini chapters are the right word at the right time, and the second is a person without self-control. So let me go ahead and read real quick. Proverbs 25, the first chapter, the right word at the right time. There are also these proverbs of Solomon, collected by scribes of Hezekiah, king of Judah. God delights in concealing things. Scientists delight in discovering things. Like the horizons for breadth and the ocean for depth, the understanding of a good leader is broad and deep. Hey man, when you choosing your leaders, make sure they provide you with understanding, not, oh, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it. I don't know. I don't know. We might just do it. That is not understanding, man. That's confusion. And who is the author of confusion? Thank you. We're moving on. Remove impurities from silver, and the silversmith can craft a fine chalice. Remove the wicked from leadership, and authority will be credible and God honoring. Don't you understand how this works? You pick bad leaders, you get a bad country. You pick bad leaders. Bad leaders run things bad, and so you get a bad ran country. This is what we living in today. People have been tricked into voting for this young man again, and it's not the thing. It's not the thing. Your author is the author of confusion. Don't work yourself into the spotlight. Don't push your way into a place of prominence. It's a lot of people that try to push their way into prominence, try to force themselves into rooms. But when the room call you out because you're not qualified to be there, don't get mad. Just understand that you're not qualified to be in certain rooms. Don't push yourself into the spotlight, young people. What's going on? How y'all doing? It's better to be promoted to a place of honor than face humiliation being demoted. When you guys are out here um, doing the work and allowing someone to celebrate you is better than throwing yourself in a place of honor and then getting demoted because you're not qualified. In the future, you're going to find out that a lot of people are not qualified for these jobs that they're holding. They're not. And they're going to have to put someone else in. And if you're not qualified, they're going to demote you too. Moving along, don't jump to consequence, don't jump to conclusions. There may be a perfectly good explanation for what you saw. This one took me a long time. I used to really jump to conclusions. Somebody said something, I'd be like, what they say? And I rush over there and try to, and you always, when you hear something, you always take it the wrong way. So you always approach with an aggressive manner. But what if you went to the people and say, hey man, I heard some information, man. I don't know if it came from you or not, but somebody said it came from you. I was just trying to get some clarity. You see how that sounds? That sounds like you're trying to work through an issue. You're trying to gain some understanding. You're not going over there to boss up on the person. You're trying to get some understanding. So we're not jumping to conclusions. It might be a perfectly good explanation for what you saw. In the heat of an argument, don't betray confidences. Word is sure to get around and nobody will trust you. Do you know people like that? How I used to test people is I would give them information that they would probably think that was important to me, but to me it wasn't important. So I would give you this information to see if you were going to spread it to somebody else. But if somebody came to me back with this information, I knew it came from you. So that's how you set up people. But in the heat of an argument, don't betray confidences. This is what happens in relationships. Y'all be talking to people like they Negroes off the street. You don't talk to people you love like that. When y'all in the heat of an argument, you might, I don't, you just like your damn daddy. How many of you have ever said that to your children or ever heard that from your mama and daddy? What this do is it betrays the confidence. You lost the argument by betraying the confidence of the other person. So we don't do that. We're sure to get around and nobody will trust you. Oh, that's the person that got the loose mouth. It's this person me and my wife know, man. We just call her the mouth of the South. Because if you tell her your business, she gonna get on her phone and go tell everybody else. Mouth of the South. The right word at the right time is like a custom-made piece of jewelry. And a wise friend's timely reprimand is like a gold ring slipped on your finger. The right word at the right time is like a custom piece of jewelry. It's like a custom piece of jewelry. Man, giving somebody, like people come to me for advice all the time. I'm not going to give you the easiest advice. I'm going to give you the hard advice so you can make the easy decision. So, do I believe the right person wrong time? Absolutely. Absolutely. If I would have met my wife, because me and my wife have been around each other damn near all our lives. We grew up in the same neighborhoods. We went to the same high school, but we didn't know one another until about 2015. But if she'd have met me back then, wrong time. I would have did my wife terribly wrong. She would have never been with nobody like me back then. And a wise friend's timely reprimand is like a gold ring slipped on your finger. Man, you know when you come to your friend and you say something foolish, and your friend say, "Man, I think it's a good idea." That's a timely reprimand. Sometimes you got to reel your friends back. Sometimes you got to reel your kids back. Sometimes you got to reel your spouse back and say, I don't think it's a good idea. Sometimes you saying um, something that might stop them from doing something foolish might be years from now, they might come to you and say, man, I really appreciate you for saying that thing to me, man. I was being really foolish in that time. I do this to my friends a whole lot. I remember me and my friend were at the club. This is a long time when I was a young chap. And he came to me, he was a little bit tipsy. And he came to me and he said, hey man, I'm finna leave with this girl. He already know I got a standard for my life, but since he was a little bit drunk, he came to me and he was like, man, hey man, I'm about to leave, man. This girl finna give me some head. I was like, who's the girl? And he pointed at that big ass girl and I said, if you leave with that girl, bro, we ain't friends no more. That was a timely reprimand. Had he dealt with that girl, the girl that I know, if he was not drunk, he would not deal with that woman. He would have dealt with that woman just because I didn't say anything. Because of my timely reprimand, he always holds me in high regards like a brother. I really appreciate that time. When you told me if I left with that girl that you wasn't going to be my friend no more, he was like, I really appreciated that. You see how that works? A timely reprimand. Reliable friends who do what they say are like cold drinks in a sweltering heat, refreshing. I don't really need to explain that. If you want to know who your real friends are, say you need to move. Say, hey man, I gotta move, man. I really need a friend. You'll find out who your friends are if you need to move. Trust me. Like billowing clouds that bring no rain is the person who talks big but never produces. I don't like to talk big, man. I like to produce. I like to give you a product that you cannot deny. My business, Good Tea Cakes. When you taste what I done created, you cannot deny that it is a great product. So, like billowing clouds that bring no rain is the person who talks big but never produces. If I tell you that I've made a product that is the best in the world, I would not say that if it was not the best in the world. I wouldn't say it was the best. I was like, oh, it's the best in the north side of Houston. No, it's the best in the world. But if I talk big and somebody tastes it, they'd be like, no, it's not. Then I have produced something. Let's see. It's like a cloud that produces no rain. So I'm saying that it's the best, but it's not. It's really not. It's self-proclaimed. Patient persistence pierces through indifference. Ooh, let's read that again. Patient persistence pierces through indifference. Gentle speech breaks down rigid defenses. Patient persistence. I'm patiently persistent. If I'm persistent, I'm diligent at something. I'm doing it. It's like being consistent. I'm persistent at this thing. Like when you see persistence, what was that cartoon character that now would be like kind of rapey? Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew was persistent. But imagine if you had a patient persistence. I'm still diligent at this thing. I'm still working at it. I know it's going to work. And I have a patient persistence. It pierces through indifference. So when I first started my business, I sell tea cakes for people who don't know. A tea cake is a southern treat that is genuinely enjoyed with your morning tea. When I first started this business, my friend told me I was crazy. Most of my friends like, this Negro making tea cakes? You making tea cakes? You went from government contracting where you was making real money, paying real bills, to over here selling tea cakes? What is going on? But now 6 years later, after they done tried the product and they see that I don't necessarily have to advertise the product still sells, they say, oh, okay. Your patient persistence is now about to pay off. Now they're saying, damn, man, yo steadfast and yo confidence and being consistent through the project, man, this is gonna pay off. Now they're trying to probably say, man, your product's still getting better. So that's patient persistence pierces through indifference. Everybody is not going to believe your dream, but your patient persistence will make them come around. Gentle speech breaks down rigid defenses. Man, look here, when people are arguing and people are at odds, keep your tone down. Most of these arguments and fights and people throwing drinks is because of tone. You can watch your tone and say, man, I remember when women used to argue with me or things like that, man, I came to a situation, I used to argue back with women. They used to say mean things. I used to say real mean things right back to them. And then it became a date. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing that no more. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to make, I'm not going to have to change. I'm going to change my attitude and make you change. So if a woman says something mean to me, I would be like, man, I've never said anything mean to you. Why would you speak to me like that? This puts the onus back on her. So my gentle speak broke down her rigid defenses. Now she got to explain herself in a manner that is not elevated. Now she got to come back down to my level with this low tone and explain why she is speaking to me this way. What made me sell tea cakes? My grandmother. My grandmother always made them. You go over there and my grandma would have them all day. And then, I asked her for the recipe in 2014. I messed them up for 3 years. She was like, oh, these are disgusting. My grandmother would tell you the truth. If your product sucked, she would be like, yeah, this ain't good. So I stopped making them in 2017. My grandmother had a stroke. I was the only person in position to go and take care of my grandmother. I waited on her hand and foot. And when she got back better, she started making tea cakes again. And I saw that I had the recipe, but I didn't have the process of what she was doing. When I changed to her process, my product became flawless. And then I had a business. You never know, man. Sometimes your business is resting within your family. Your family got things that are awesome. Take those things and upgrade them and take it to the next level. Take your family to the next level. The next subchapter that we're going to read in Proverbs 25 is a person without self-control. This is what I try to get through men all day about lustful desires. But let's go on. The name of this chapter is a person without self-control. Let me continue. When you're given a box of candy, don't gulp it all down. Eat too much chocolate and you'll make yourself sick. We don't necessarily have to explain that. This is like gluttony. People be thinking that gluttony is not one of God's major sins. When you eating all them cheeseburgers, when you ate 13 pieces of fried chicken, it's going to be a point of time when you full, but your mind is going to keep telling you that you hungry. Who's stronger, your stomach or your mind? You have to figure that out. But if you keep eating too much chocolate, you're going to make yourself sick. When you find a friend, don't outwear your welcome. Show up at all times and he'll soon get fed up. You know how people be wearing out their welcomes? You find a good friend and then you need them so much that you rely on these people for everything, and then they're no longer around because you didn't wore out your welcome, you didn't wore out the saints. Because a lot of times when these people come to you, you only wear out your welcome when people be giving you sound advice and you don't be listening. It makes the person that's giving you the sound advice seem like they talking to a wall. And this most time happen with people, man. So anyone who tells lies against neighbors in court or on the street is a loose cannon. Anyone who tells lies against the neighbors in court or on the street is a loose cannon. Hey, man, this book, it speaks about your neighbors and how to treat your neighbors. Anyone who tells lies, it's people telling lies against their neighbors. It's people calling ICE on their neighbors right now. They like, okay, ICE coming your way, and they gonna make that call. But you a loose cannon. These people at the end of the day gonna get exactly what they want. A country without immigrants. And they're gonna have to do the work that they don't want to do. And I'm gonna let their asses do it too. Trusting a double crosser when you're in trouble is like biting down on an abscess tooth. You ever bit down on an abscess tooth? You ever did that? Bit down and that tooth jiggled a little bit? If you trust a double crosser, it's going to be that same type of pain. It's people that don't think the dentist is important to that tooth get that little wiggle in it. And then that's when you know you need to go to the dentist. Like, that's when kids become adults. When you got to make that. I remember when I was an adult still acting like a kid. And I didn't used to go to the dentist and get preventive maintenance. You know, that's what an adult would do. You know, you go and get your teeth looked at. Well, I didn't do that. And by the time this tooth in the back had started jiggling, it was no longer a situation to where I can go and buy some shoes and ignore it. You can't ignore a double crosser. You can't ignore what these people are doing. So you ignoring that abscessed tooth is like ignoring that double crosser. Can't do it. Can't do it. But that abscessed tooth is gonna let you know that you need to go to the dentist. And so when I went to the dentist and they charged me the price that I was supposed to pay for the preventive maintenance, they charged me all that up front to get that tooth pulled. That's when you start learning that the kid world don't mesh well too well with the adult world. Moving on. Singing light songs to the heavy-hearted is like pouring salt on their wounds. Hey, man, a heavy-hearted people don't be listening to, like, soft music. They don't want to hear nothing soft. They be listening to ratchet music. They do not want to hear anything soft. So singing light-hearted songs to the hard-hearted is doing yourself a disservice. Moving along. If you see your enemy hungry, go buy him lunch. If he's thirsty, buy him a drink. Your generosity will surprise him with goodness, and God will look after you. Man, I had to start learning this. I had a friend, man, and he said if he had spare change, he would never give spare change to white folks who was asking on the corner. And I took up that personality for a little bit. I would only give money to black people. Then I said to myself, man, what if this person see black people as the enemy and black people that treated this white person bad all their life? And I'm the person, when you're at your lowest, I'm the person that gave you some money to look out for you. Maybe you can go and get some water, maybe you go get some food. Man, that'll make you change the way that you think. Because you be like, man, my own people passing me over. And this stranger, I didn't like his skin color at first, but this stranger then gave me some food, man. Like sometimes I be, man, let me judging on my heart, man. When I'm called to give, man, I be like, let me give these people something. I don't think about the color of their skin now. I think about what they need. And if I give them what they need, then in turn, God gives me what I need, and God will look after you. You see how that works? When you look after God's people, man, God will look after you. That's how it works. A north wind brings stormy weather, and a gossipy tongue, stormy looks. Hey, man, hanging with people who gossip and always got other people business in their mouth is not good for business, bro. It's not good for business. Just like stormy weather will come up in and mess up your picnic, Same thing with these gossipy tongues. Better to live alone in a tumble down shack than share a mansion with a nagging spouse. See, the Message Bible changed this to nagging spouse and not like nagging wife, because a husband today it can be nagging too, especially if he's controlling. So just like, it's better to let, man. I remember my mom was married to my dad, man. My mom was married to my dad, and I remember at 40 years old, my mom had passed on. I lost my mom at what, 29? Um, and oh, dang, where was it? My dad was telling me about the time, him and my mom being married, just telling, about my mom and their relationship and their marriage. And then I concluded after the words that he spoke to me that they shouldn't have been married. Okay, it was good for y'all to go ahead and break off because y'all possibly would have killed one another. My dad would tell me through spurts of the marriage where my mom would be getting on his damn nerves. What he would do is he would take his tent and go into the woods. And my dad would go sit in the woods for a month, couple weeks, leave his marriage and just go sit in the woods. And that's what brought this back to mind. It's better to live in a tumble down shack than to share a mansion with a nagging spouse. So if you're the nagging spouse, this message is for you. Like a cool drink of water when you're worn out and weary is a letter from a long lost friend. I was in the military, man. When you got them letters from mama or a friend or whatever, like somebody's thinking about you, um, when you out here doing your thing, man, that makes the biggest difference in the world. A good person who gives in to a bad person is a muddled spring, a polluted well. Man, let me explain this real quick. When a good person gives in to a bad person, good people should never give in. You should never even worry about what bad people are doing. When I hear women say, well, these girls, they doing all of this, I should go and do that too. We're not, if they was jumping off of a bridge and going to their own eternal damnation, would you jump in with them? They'd be like, no, well, why is you following them? So let's just say you got this spring water, right? You got your own land and you got this spring water. And you can go up to the spring, you put your little cup in it and you can drink the water. That's how fresh it is. And then you bring somebody in who is a bad person, a muddied spring, and they pollute your water. They come into your spring and they just jump on in and the spring just turned brown. First you could see your feet and now it's brown. You can't drink the damn water no more. A good person who gives in to a bad person is a muddied spring, a polluted well. When you give in to these people, when you salute to signing bad contracts, you the person that allowed these people they come in all dusty, ain't took a bath in years, and they come lay in your water and dusty up your waters. No way. It's not smart to let me start that over. It's not smart to stuff yourself with sweets, nor is glory piled on glory good for you. America is the country that is glory piled on glory. America can have 400 million defeats. They're only going to talk about the glory. Never the defeats, only the glory. So if you pile glory on glory, you never understand how it works. So America does not talk about slavery. They're like, nope, slavery didn't happen. It makes us feel bad. It makes our kids cry. We don't want to talk about slavery. So you're not talking about slavery as you piling glory on glory. It's just saying we got great by ourselves. We didn't need anybody else. We didn't need anybody else. We didn't need those people that were working for free. We was doing this all by ourselves, piling glory on glory. Now what does it look like? It looks like trash. When Israel says we're the most moral army in the world and you're over here starving people out, it does not look like you're moral. It doesn't look like you have any morals. Moving along, and this is the last one, and I'm going to finish off right here. A person without self-control is like a house with its doors and windows knocked out. I got to a point, man, when I stopped talking to women who was just loose. Because a loose woman is like a house with no doors and windows. Anybody can walk in, anybody can walk out. To feel love, she'll just have sex with a man. Remember, I was a former sex addict, so I got to see this. and you get to group people. Like, oh, okay, you one of them. And so you see people without self-control. When you are when you are a sex addict and you going through it, you see people without self-control. It's not good business. I remember when I was young, man, I tell this story all the time. When my dreams about, or my memories of a Saturday morning is when my mama used to send me to the store. It's early in the morning, my mama sent me to the store. We need these things. She put it on the list. And I would walk to the store. And as I'm walking to the store, I would see about self-made dudes on the stairs. And I see them on the stairs, and I'd be like, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? You know, you holler at the homies. Some of them go to school with you, some of them in high school. But for me, I was in middle school at the time. So what I start understanding is these dudes on the stairs because they had a little girl that they was running the train on. And they'd be running a little train on it, and they be sitting on the stairs, and they'd be like, you want some of this? I'd be like, nah, man, I'm headed to the store. I'm glad that I was always headed to the store, because if I had done that, you're not even getting sloppy seconds. You over here getting the eighth. You're the eighth person to show up, because this person does not have any self-control. She's letting anybody in. Anybody can dump off. There's no self-control there. This person is not going to stop and say, look, I don't want to do this. This is not who I am. This is not who God made me to be. My temple is important to me. It's not any of that. When a man say, I like you, she thinks the way that this love is going to come about is giving her body away, because she lacks self-control. So I had to notice when I got in control of my sexual behavior and sexual lust is I couldn't even have sex with a woman like that. I'd rather help her out than be another person that crapped on her like that, because I knew what she was going through, because she didn't have any self-control. It usually comes from a point of no self-love. Like, you don't love yourself, so you give yourself to anybody. Anybody and everybody can have you. That's because you don't have that self-love. And man, you got to coach people. It's not about the clothes you put on. It's not about the clothes you put on. It's how you feel about yourself before you put anything on. So I just want to go through Proverbs 25 today, kind of explain some of these scriptures so people can understand them. I know I was a little bit heavy-winded today, but yeah, appreciate y'all for listening. For the people who listen, thank you.